Hello, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Edgecombe, and I am a government official that oversaw the intervention of the Mid-Swan Landscape Restoration and Wildland Urban Interface Project, and this is part of GPH 722. The location of the project. So, as a resident of Montana, I'm very familiar with the landscape. If you see on this map, I currently live in Bozeman, Montana, which is just left of Interstate 90. And this project is being held, where this green arrow is pointing, in Kalispell, Montana. It is just south of Glacier National Park, so quite north. The environmental impact and the project goals. So this project aims to restore and maintain terrestrial and aquatic biodiversity and quality in light of the ever-changing climate and to reduce fire behavior. So, some key project actions that was mentioned in this EIS. Fire management is a huge topic that we'll cover later in this project. Access road creation and closures, and water quality testing. So the Mid-Swan Lake region has not only multiple lakes, but it also has multiple rivers and small water bodies that we'll be talking about a little later. Benefits of forest management. So forest management is basically when either volunteer group or an organization goes in and they decrease the amount of underbrush. So by doing this, this reduces the fuel a fire uses to burn. Less fuel equals less air pollution and damaging particulates in the air. And with less stuff to burn, fires can't burn as hot, can't burn as long, and doing that, it will aid in better air quality if a fire does start in this region. This also aids in prevention of megafires, which if you've been following the news over the past, year or so, these kind of hit the West Coast pretty hard. They're very hot burning, long burning, devastating fires. And prevention of these megafires not only saves habitats, but it also saves animals, houses, and even human lives. So in this project, the creation of new access roads was also mentioned. So benefits of the new access roads. One, it decreases the crossover from old roads, which cause silt accumulation in other waterways due to runoff. So basically these older roads were old logging roads, etc., and they would either go right over a stream, a brook, a creek, etc., and all this silt would run off because they weren't thinking of the environmental impact when they built these roads initially. New road creation also allows government officials such as myself or park rangers to adequately manage and patrol the forest. This also allows easier and more sustainable access to the forest in case of emergencies such as a fire or someone gets hurt hiking, fishing, hunting, etc. But for the public, it increases the access to hunting, fishing, and other recreational sites, which really gets people out to the community and so they can visit and really enjoy what the Mid-Swan Lake region really has to offer. Some benefits of water quality testing and intervention. Well, it provides cleaner space for water recreation such as fishing, boating, etc. Removal of fish barriers. Now this is big because we'll mention in the next slide that there are a couple species in Montana that are endangered or are pretty close to it. So by removing fish barriers, this increases access for fish to live and eat, and it also increases the access for fishermen to fish and boat as well. Increased water quality helps prevent illness associated with bacteria and algae blooms, And by decreasing this, healthcare costs were estimated to go down because people were getting less sick. So as mentioned before, these fish barriers and the silt, they all affect this one species in particular, and it's the bull trout. Their conservation status in Montana and in the United States is considered vulnerable, so very close to endangered. New road creation and placement, as mentioned before, will decrease the amount of silt ending up in the waterways where these fish live, and the reduction of silt will improve their habitat. So on the right, these are just both male and female bull trout, both in their spawning colors. They can actually get up to 24 inches in length as well. Now, some proposed recommendations for this project. It's quite a big project, so public information meetings were suggested to me, and I think that is a great idea as a government official to hold these meetings and inform people what's going on, when it's going to happen, and what kind of drawbacks will be implicated from these, interventions. I also came across people that said they wanted flyers and bulletins posted, so we're going to be doing that. We'll post flyers and bulletins around the project area that say the dates, the times, the areas affected, and kind of the delays some people might experience. And lastly, if people don't see the flyers, can't make the informational meetings, there'll be open forums, I'd say around twice a month, for people to either address their concerns because they have been to these areas, or just ask general questions about the do's and don'ts when the testing and intervention is going on. Construction of new roads does actually cost a lot of money, and the equipment coming in is heavy equipment, so people aren't allowed in there. So with that, there will be quite a bit of blockage to these recreational areas. So these open forums, for example, would be times and areas for people to ask questions about when they can't come and visit. And lastly, I'd just like to thank pretty special things because he took the time to Ranger Chris Dowling of the Mid-Swan Ranger District. He took time to do an interview with me, answer a lot of questions, and he was very knowledgeable about the region and very appreciative of that. So thank you everyone for listening, and here are my references. Thank you very much.